Coach, could you talk to us a little bit about about your gym, the Komainu Gym here in Reno, Nevada?
Yeah, so Komainu Gym is it's actually pronounced Komainu in Japanese, but
Yeah.
everyone says Komainu, so that's what we go with.
Sorry.
It's easier to it's easier to pronounce.
Yeah.
So we started this gym about 3 years ago. We're a blend of different instructors from the Atos school here. I'm personally a black belt under Charles Gracie. So we built this gym out of a necessity of having one location for everyone that competes to train. So kind of looked at the Studio 540 concept and being open to everybody. I have instructors from all over the valley come here and teach every week. We're big about getting different instructors in here for seminars, just as Professor Eliot Kelly was here today, and Michelle Miyashita and Ryan Loader was here teaching some wrestling. So we're really big on getting everything involved in grappling, not just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but really just open to everybody from every gym. We have about 5 gyms here in Reno. In the last 3 to 4 years, 5 years ago we had 1 gym.
Cool.
So it's the growth in the Reno, Sparks, Tahoe area is pretty large.
Yeah.
So we kind of found this as a necessity, as all the people we were at one gym kind of spread out. So now we have one home where people can wear a Komainu patch and whatever their home gym patch is, and there's no issues.
What have you seen develop as a result of having a gym like this, where it's you have different instructors, you have people from different gyms, with just the spirit of getting better. What have you seen develop as a result of that?
It's a kind of an odd camaraderie. It's one of those things where people are proud to represent their home gym, whether it's Atos or Charles Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, but they're also really proud to be part of the Komainu family. We consider ourselves less of a gym and more of a family of guys who train together. We've also found that the improvement has been astronomical for all different levels of guys. Our blue belts are much better than the blue belts at other gyms that don't train and cross-train here. We do a lot of blended judo, wrestling. We don't just do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I think it's brought our community back together in this area. And it was something that we needed, and myself and Byron Craig, my partner, really felt that it was needed for our area. So
That's pretty cool. What as some of the instructors, obviously they're showing technique. What's some of the philosophy or ideas that they've brought in that you guys have really embraced, if that is the thing?
Yeah, I think the philosophy of us being open. So if I teach a technique, say I'm teaching a triangle that I know, whether it's gi, no gi, we're really big about giving each other the next space. So if I'm teaching and I'm at the start, I say, hey, we're going to go over the triangle from guard. I teach my version, and then we have Shannon Kalos, who's a black belt under and Atos black belt. Keaton Cornelius, who's older brother, so he'll show his version, and then Byron might show a version. We just got a new guy, Vince Barbosa from Texas. He's a really phenomenal brown belt, and he'll show his version. So really just open to everybody pitching in and showing the same techniques, but different variations and different movements that work for different body styles, because we know. And grappling arts, just because I show it one way doesn't mean it works for me if I'm not flexible, or I'm a little bit bigger, or I'm heavier, or skinnier. So we show different versions of the same technique, which I think has helped guys develop their game faster.
That's cool. Something else you're really involved with is the first responders, and system you've developed is the Leo defense systems. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I had the unique. I've been a police officer for 10 years. I'm now a sergeant for the Reno Police Department. Worked all kinds of different stuff: bike patrol, undercover detectives. But I went through the academy as a 4-stripe blue belt. So when we were learning our weaponless defense, or defensive tactics, as some call it, I had a really unique position to see where the holes were in defensive tactics, and the instructors would pull me in by myself, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're a great jiu-jitsu guy," and I'm like, "I'm a blue belt, I'm not good." So,
yeah.
But they thought I was the bee's knees. So, and I tried to explain to them there's 30 guys that would crush me, but okay, I guess I'm great. So we would work through different techniques, and I would start adding variations using jiu-jitsu, and I have minimal wrestling, but using my jiu-jitsu background, even though it was only 4-stripe blue belt, to fix some of the techniques fundamentally from that angle. Then our chief of police at the time is Steve Pitts. He was actually a black belt.
Oh, wow.
So he as soon as I got off probation after my first year, he had me develop the Leo program. So I wrote a comprehensive 50-hour lesson plan that got post-certified through Nevada. We've done actually the program since 2009.
Oh, cool.
Taught probably over 1,000 law enforcement and first responders, so fire, REMSA, which is our EMT medics, military personnel, all over the West Coast. So it's just one of those things that I think it's needed, and I wish I could send cops to jiu-jitsu and combat training for 6 months before they even got to the academy, because I think the humility that's gained through grappling arts and mixed martial arts in general, MMA versus saying jiu-jitsu, wrestling, I think you gain humility, and you gain a respect of the human body and the things you can do to people, and you see that you can really control someone with technique and not having to go to a higher level of force. So we've seen a huge decrease in our officers that are injured on our department.
Oh wow, really?
Also injuries to suspects or subjects who we contact,
Yeah.
and it's just been it's a lot better. So it's better for the cities on liability as far as having to pay lawsuits or whatever. And then we actually, in 2015, the Department of Justice actually did a case study on our department, on our wellness and officer safety program, which primarily encompassed the LEO program. So we have a great business partner, Ryan Drexler, who's the CEO of Muscle Form. So he actually became a partner with us because he's a philanthropist and wants to help law enforcement. So we've been really lucky, and our goal is really just to spread grappling arts to law enforcement across the country and first responders to make everybody safer.
What's those are great reasons, but what would be like the biggest reason for people to have at least 6 months of grappling training before the academy or even after the academy?
I think it teaches you a lot about yourself as a person. I know everybody always thinks, oh, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu because I want to learn to be, a tough guy or this, but I think you really learn about yourself and not quitting and working through, tough times. And when you're got a big guy on top of you mounted, you can't just quit. So I think it helps you in all aspects of life, gaining the humility, and then obviously it makes you safer on the street. It makes you a lot less likely to go to a higher level of force, whether that's a firearm or taser somebody, or hit them with some OC. You're a lot more likely to go hands-on, and I think that lowers the threshold and that level of force that's going to happen. So I think it's good for the officer, it's good for citizen contacts, it's good for personal growth. To me, jiu-jitsu people are the best people in the world. Obviously, no matter what, you have bad apples on every tree.
Sure.
But I think the jiu-jitsu community itself, we get a couple black guys here and there from people that make bad decisions. But I think, all in all, jiu-jitsu people and wrestlers and mixed martial artists, I think they really have a respect for each other that you don't find anywhere else. We don't care what your race is, what your creed is, what your religion is, what your political affiliation is. It's just a group of people, and I think if it works in jiu-jitsu, it'll work on the street as far as that same mentality that it doesn't really matter. Like we're all in this together. So,
where can people find out about Komainu Gym, and where can people find about the Leo Defense System?
So we have eliotdefensesystems.com is our Leo website. So they can email me directly through the website if they are interested in it. We're actually going to start spreading out to teach the Leo program to private sector people. So if you own a gym or jiu-jitsu gym and you want us to come and certify you so that you can train your own jiu-jitsu students, which some are probably first responders, then we're going to open that up to the public. Obviously, you got to go through some background and vetting and stuff like that, but that's our main goal here in the next 6 months. And then for the Komainu Gym, it's you go to our apparel, which is komainuapparel.com, and then you can go to the gym page, and that has our schedule. And everybody gets a free drop-in. We don't charge drop-in fees to out-of-town people. It's just come in and roll. If you're going to be here for a week, then we'll work something out. But if you just want to take 1 or 2 classes while you're in Reno, then come on down.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eliot.